meta element we have discussed, and after
So
that,
character entity is meta tag.
okay, after that what we have discussed?
Image tag.
Okay, good. So we have discussed about the images and how to do that. That also we have discussed. So I will go to the same file, and here we also discussed about how to give the width and height. So we provide some, I mean, we give attributes for this image tag, and what this src will give, src will this attribute use for the source file. I mean, what is the name of the file, and what is the actual location of it. By default, if it is both are in the same directory, then no need to change it, otherwise you have to specify it. So similar to that, uh, so if the file name is different, or if I make some mistakes to that, what will happen, it will use this attribute, that is ELT, and it will say that it cannot be displayed, or whatever the message you give, that will appear if the image is not able to load it. And with that we can also provide the width and height, or we can specify the size for a particular image, and this value that you give, it will be in terms of pixels. uh, the image will be actually generated, or it will be made up of small tiny squares, we can say small dots, or small tiny squares. Those are nothing but in terms of pixels. So the value that we give, it will be by default in terms of pixels. If you do not give any values for width and height, it will take its by default values. But if you want to change its values, if or according to your wish, you can specify the width and height. So, and also if you want the image to appear in the square format or in the square shape, then the width and height should be equal. So if I make it 200 and 200, the image will appear in a square format. So I will change it to like this, it will appear in the square format, or like a square box. And also I told you about this, right? If you want to change it temporarily, you can go to direct and click on the option inspect, and here you can open this different tags, and here you can change it. Okay, so you can just use this arrow mark button, or you can change it manually. But the moment you make changes and click on button, and just click outside, it will be changed. But when I run this program, it will be as it is, because I've made changes temporarily to know what should be my image size. Why we have to use this inspect option from the browser? Because see, we are not so much what you can say um, creative to know what can be the image size and how it will best fit, or if you want to make a more attractive web page, so, and we do not know what should be the size, instead of changing it manually every time, say let's say we'll put it as 300, some other time 400 and 500, 600. So if you keep on doing this, it will take, or it will waste a lot of time, and will not get the idea of how the image will look like. So better use this option of changing it, and once you change it, the whatever value you are getting, same thing you can make it, and you can make this modification into this. But remember that whenever you are increasing or decreasing this image size, try to know that if you increase it very drastically, the image will look like a stretched one. Okay, or it will be like, sometimes it will be shrink. So to avoid this, we have to use this option, and it is not mandatory, but for the programming part we can use this. It will like a temporary compiler, we can say, like that it will work out. So if I change this to say 600 or 500 like this, what will happen? Sujata, mute yourself. You can see that the image is little bit stretched and it is not looking good. So are we clear with this, everyone? Apart from this, if I want a image should appear, I can give a different page name and different file name as well. So the extension we can have for this images, it can be JPEG, GIF and PNG. So we can have these different types of images with different extensions. All these are the different extensions we can have for the images. Are we clear with this concept of images? Everyone? Anybody has any doubts with related to this? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Virat, can you unmute yourself? So now next we will be studying about XHTML document validation. So what is it all about? See, when we are using these different tags, we are not using the document version, XML version or the details, because that is not required, because we are not going to host it on the website, okay, or we are not going to host it. So but if you are creating a web application, suppose say that you have got an order and you want to create a website for a particular organization, then you have to follow some strict rules. So whether the tags that you are used or whether the code that you have performed, whether it actually is validated by the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C organization, for that you have to use this particular thing that we call as the XHTML validation. So it provides, that is World Wide Web Consortium provides a convenient web-based way to validate XHTML documents against its standards. So for that I have created a simple example. Okay, and my file name for this is validate.html, and here I have included XML version, document type and all other details, and I've created a simple program, or I've written a simple document. So now if I want to test this whether it matches the standards provided by this particular document type with XHTML 1.0 or no, for that what I have to do, I have to go to this particular website, that is go to your browser and type this validate.w3.org file upload.html. So I will just open this and it will take me to this particular URL. Here you have the option, that is validate by URI, validate by file upload, validate by direct input. So click onto this particular thing and here you have to choose the file. Okay, from your local file, choose the file. And where is my file located? My file located is at this particular directory. I will say validate.html and then I will say open. And now you have to check it. It is like a compiler. Okay. And if there are some errors or warning messages, that will be displayed. So if I click on this check, it will track all the information that we have written and everything will be displayed. So if there are some errors or some other warnings, that will be also displayed. So I can also use the option called as show source, and then we can say revalidate, so that it will revalidate it. Okay, choose the file because I did not choose any file name. So I'll say validate.html and say open and we'll say revalidate. So it will say the document is successfully checked and it will also show the source code. Okay, whatever I have written, that will also appear if you click on this show source option. So you can use this show outline, validate error pages and other things also, you can check it out. So here it will display that which encoding scheme we have used, what is the document type and what is the root element. So in our case, the root element is HTML. So from this our program will start. So all those details we can check it out with the XHTML validator. Okay, so this document version, when you are using this XML and document type tags, so if I give a line space, so what this standard suggests, always if you are using this XML and document type tags, always this XML version should appear on your first line, but I have written this in the second line. So now if I run this program, or if I upload this on this World Wide Consortium Validate org, it will give a error message. So let us try that. So I will open this. Here I will say choose file, and I will say validate.html and say open, and now I will say revalidate. See, it is showing the error message, error found while checking this document, and it will give the error message. What error message it is giving? Line 2 column 5, XML declaration allowed only at the start of the document. Like this you will get some error messages. Okay, suppose if I do another mistake of not closing this particular tag of something of this kind, then it will show the error messages as well. Again it depends on, I mean, we are checking for the standard, okay, whether the tags that we are used are properly mentioned in this standards and whether they are validated, because some of the old versions or old browsers may support or may not support some of the tags. So to check that before we actually host a website or a web application, we should check for its standards. So now if I run this, sorry, so I will say choose file, and if I say validate.html and open, I will say revalidate, and it will say that 11 errors. Okay, so first error is this, does not allow H1 element here, missing one of the objects. Like this it will give a number of errors because I have made only one error, that is instead of closing this tag I have made this, but I am getting a number of errors because after this will be also considered as the error, this will be also considered as the error, and so on and so forth. So before we actually check it out for the proper standards, it is good to upload your file on this World Wide Web Consortium and you can check it out. So to do this, basically you require this internet connection and you should go to this particular URL. Okay, then only you can get it. Are we all following it? Everyone? So I will make this correction and I will rerun this again. I will say revalidate. So just now see I have removed the errors and it is showing it as passed, and it will give the details. Are we getting it, everyone? Okay, you can also check it by URL also, by specifying the address also you can check whether it matches the standards or no, and so on and so forth. So for example, if I say HTTPS colon GCC bgm.org. Okay, so if I want to test whether it is properly working or no, I can give this address and I can test it. Like this, there are methods, but since this is a website, it will take too much time. Okay. Are we clear with this, everyone? Why we need to use this XHTML validator? So from the examination point of view, what question you may get? Why we use this XHTML document validation? So this is a convenient way that will be provided, that W3C provides us to check the web pages or the pages that we create, and so that we can check for its standards and compatibilities. The first step, what you have to do, you have to go to this particular URL, and then you have to click on the option called as the validate by file upload, and here you have to choose the file. A dialog box will appear, and you have to give the file names and click on the check button. So if it is working fine, then you can say that it will display the message that the file has been passed and it is checked for the errors. If there are some errors, then it will say that you have got these many errors and warnings and so on. So you can debug those errors and you can continue with your program. So in the examination, if they ask, you have to write these 3 to 4 steps. Go to this URL, upload the file, and click on the check button. It will display the errors if there are. Otherwise, it will display the message that successfully it is checked and it is passed. Shall we go ahead, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Next is the very interesting thing, that is about the hypertext links. Like in the normal Word document or in PPT, we have created the links. Yes or no? So similar to that, we can create the hyperlinks in the web page also. So basically these hyperlinks are used to navigate from one page to another page. So for example, you may be present at the so for example, you are present at home page. So if you want to navigate from one page to another page, the URL will be changed. So if I click on about us, it will change to about us. If I click on courses, it will, or say events, it will go to events. Still this site is under development, and so on and so forth. So like this, it will go to that particular page, or we can navigate from one page to another page. So to do that, we use this hyperlinks. So the hyper means what? It is beyond, and link means the connection, that is beyond its capacity or beyond its particular document. If you want to navigate or if you want to move from one page to another page, we can use this hyperlink. So whichever text helps in navigation is called as the hypertext. What will help us to navigate? Whatever we write, that we call as the hypertext. And hyperlinks can be created using a anchor tag. We call it as that we call it as the anchor tag. And this anchor tag will have a attribute called as the href. So what this href stands for? It is hypertext reference. So it is an acronym for hypertext reference. Href stands for hypertext reference. And so to understand this, what I have done, I have created a HTML file. So I have created HTML head, title, and here I have used this link. So what is A stands for here? A is what? A is called what? Is it a tag or it is an attribute?
Sir, anchor tag.
So A is an anchor tag. And what is this href?
Sir, hypertext reference attribute.
Okay. And what is the value for that attribute?
Sir, which is given in the quotes double.
Okay. So what I have given the value as link.html. So what I want to do is, I want this thing to appear on my web page, that is click here. So this will act like a hyperlink. So when the moment I click on this particular word, I need to go to another page. So I have created another page. So I have created another page called link.html. So when I run this program, I will get a link, and always link will appear with some different colors and will be always underlined if you are using a text. So whatever text I have given, that will act like a link. And the moment I click on this, what is the destination I have given? I have given the destination as link.html. So let us run this program. Okay, here the link is appearing. So the moment I click on this, you can observe the changes that are happening. Okay. The current URL is hyper.html. Now, if I click on this, what is happening? It is going to link.html. Hyperlinks can be created using the anchor tags. Whatever the contents I have in this link.html, that will appear on my browser, and you can observe the changes in the URL. So we navigated from what? We navigated from hyper.html to link.html. So if I want to go back, I will click on this back button. Are we getting it? How to create the hyperlinks? This is why we use the web. Always we cannot display all the entire thing on one particular web page. We always want to give some extra information from other website, or we want to give it from some other page or in some other document. So we will be using this hyperlinks basically in our web applications. So here what I had given a file name. Instead of this, you can give a URL as well. So here I have given that. Click here to go to this link.html. Similar to that, I will create another URL, or in this only I will make some changes. So instead of this, I will take my college gcc.bgm.org. https://gcc/bgm.org. Okay, so this I will copy and I will put this inside my code. So click here to visit GCC BGM. Okay, actual address is what this, but what will appear on my web page, this will appear. So this is giving a reference. So whatever I give, click on this, whatever is mentioned as a value for this href attribute, it will go to that particular location. Okay, so this is a real-time URL. So I will open this. So if I click on this, what will happen? From hyper.html, where I will go, I will be navigated from hyper.html to which page I will go? Can somebody tell me? Exactly, I will go to that, our college website. So if I click on this, it will go to gccbgm.org. Are we getting it, everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Please open your mouth and give answers. Give some responses. You understood, not understood? Suyash. Are you able to follow this? Okay. So now what we have done, we have made navigation from one page to another page. This can be a URL or this can be a document as well. But instead of that, if I want to give a link within my document, okay, let us say that you have opened this. Suppose say that India Today. I will open this. Okay, and here I have the option. I mean, the page is very heavy. It is loaded with documents, images, links, and so on. So if I want to visit the bottom of this particular web page, what I have to do? I have to scroll it down. Okay. Now again, after coming here, I think that I want to go to the top. So instead of scrolling your button, there is an option. So if you click on this, what will happen? Directly, automatically, you will go to the top. but this URL is not changed. Without changing the URL, you can give this link within the document as well, from top to bottom or from bottom to top also you can navigate it. So for that, what you have to do, so there is another option that we have to do for this. So in the same hyper.html, what I have made, I have created another paragraph. Utilize this free time to learn latest technologies so that it will help for your placement activities. And for this, I want to give a information, or I want to give a link. So for this, I have created a paragraph, and I have to give a attribute called as ID, and I have given the name for the attribute as the value of the attribute ID is equal to bottom. So what this ID and name we will discuss later on when we discuss about the JavaScript. At that time you'll understand. But suppose say that we have got 4 paragraphs in my HTML file. So how to uniquely identify each particular paragraph, or say heading tags and so on and so forth. To identify each of the uh, tags, we can have this ID as an attribute, and we can give this unique values for those IDs. Like every student has got unique number. Similar to that, every tag can have a unique identity or a unique identifier, so that we can refer this. So I have created a paragraph, say P ID equal to bottom, and this I have written, and I have created another link, and whatever ID you specify here bottom, that you have to specify in the href. So hash indicates that you want to navigate within the document, not outside the document. Within the document you want to navigate it. So you can give the href hash. What is the ID value I have given? I have given it as bottom. So if we say side, so it should be side. If we say like bot, it should be, this value should be bot. Whatever the ID value you specify, that you have to give. Are we getting it? Okay. So now if I open this, my same file. Okay. Now if I click on this, I'm getting to this particular paragraph. I mean, it may not be visible for you, because this page is not that much heavy. Within one single click, I can scroll it down. So for this, I will make some certain changes. You can just observe it. So after this P tag, I will put a paragraph. I will put, or say I will put a pre tag here. And here I will leave some space. Okay. Now I will run this. Okay. So this is not appearing. So now the moment if I click on this, what will happen? It will go to the bottom. Are we getting it? How to use hyperlinks within the document? So what will be the syntax to use that? So you have to create a link. Okay, I have created href bottom. So what this value stands for, whatever the, wherever you want to locate it, for that create a ID, because there can be, see here I have created a paragraph. Okay, so there, like this, there can be n number of paragraphs or headings and so on. So to uniquely identify where I should go or where my page should navigate, for that I have created a ID. That is, I have included an attribute for the paragraph, and I have mentioned it as bottom. Are you able to get this, everyone? Are you understanding it? So here I am not changing the path name. The file name is not changed. If you observe this, click here, it will be as it is, but it will go to that particular space, or that particular place where we have given that value. Now I want Suyash to answer for this question. Like now I have come to the bottom of this particular thing. Okay, I have came to the bottom. Now if I go to top, what we will do? You will scroll it up or you'll create another link.
So we will create another link.
So where that link should be created, at the bottom or at the top?
So at the top. So no, at the bottom.
At the bottom, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my paragraph is currently here. So what I will do, I will just copy this. Okay, okay, so what I will do, I will put this after the pre tag. I will put this here, href. Here I will say top, and now here I will say click here to go to top. Okay, now I have created this as top, or will keep it in the small letter. These are like variable names you give in C program. So you can give anything, but give it a proper meaning. With a proper variable name you give, similar to that you can give. So I have created a link, but I have not created the ID for this. So I will go to this. Here what I will put a h1. So instead of for p, I will put for the h1 header. I will say ID equal to what I have to give, Suyash. So what I have used here, top. So what should be my ID? Basically you have to give the ID first, and that we have to use. I will give it as top. So the moment I click on this particular link, where my cursor will go, it will come to this particular place. Are we following it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will run this again. Okay, so now if I click here, what will go happen? It will go down. Okay, so here again I have created a link. Click here to go to top. So if the moment if I click on this, I will come to top. Are we following it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
In a nutshell, we have discussed
sir.
hyperlinks in 3 ways. One is you can give a document name, okay, and also remember that, like for the images, in my case this hyper.html, okay, hyper.html, and it is present at e directory webbrowser files, there it is present, and this link.html, both are at the same location. But if this file, that is link.html, if it is not there in the current directory, what you have to do, you have to specify the full path name. Like if it is present at F drive, so you have to copy that particular location, I mean file path, that you have to specify, otherwise it will give a error message. Or for example, if I say line.html, okay, and if I run this, okay, and if I click on this, what will happen? Your file could not be accessed because there is no file name in my directory with the name lin.html. So you can give the file name, okay, where you want to navigate, or you can give the URL like we have discussed with https gcc.bgm.org, okay. And the next one is if you want to give the link within the document, for that you have to use this href with hash as the attribute, and then you have to give a value for this particular ID, so that you can navigate from top to bottom or bottom to top. You may ask where we will use this. The application of these kind of top to bottom or from bottom to top navigation within the page without changing from the current page to the next page, where they are required, where we can have the online magazines or newspapers, online newspapers, or wherever the web page or website is heavy or too much loaded. In such situations, we can use this particular thing. Everyone quickly give the attendance. Within 1 minute, you have to give the attendance. And I think CRs and LRs might have told you about this. From next class onwards,